Welcome to my transmission on inner success and how capable women lose momentum because of a self-rejection that's happening quietly beneath the surface. Where you've gotten really good at overriding yourself. And yeah, that's built some amazing things in your life. It's helped you get out of some trouble. It's helped you get into goodness. But here's what happens when we self-reject. You see, growing up, we didn't even know that we were self-rejecting, but every single one of us, we were made to feel, through no fault really of our own parents, because they had their own stuff going on, their own inner demons, their own inner turmoil. No parent was perfect. So what happens is when our parents set standards for us and then we don't reach them and they withdraw their love. Excuse me. Like they get angry or they give you a timeout or they get disappointed in you. We then reject certain parts of ourselves. When we reject these parts of ourselves, it's like we're literally withdrawing life force from inside our body. And so what happens is, in order to move forward, you get very good at overriding these inner parts of you that just feel imperfect, that feel not worthy, not good enough. And you know you just have to go forward anyway. Now, this isn't the worst thing in the world, but there comes a point and a time in your life when overriding these parts of yourself no longer work. Excuse me, let me have some water. So welcome as you're coming live. Say hi, let me know where you're from. So, as I was saying, as capable women, we've gotten really good at overriding ourselves. Now, this is something that I did for years in my business. I was pouring all my love and care into others. I was overriding the parts of me that just knew that there was something that I wasn't looking at. Yeah. And so it can make us feel sometimes like we're lazy or we're broken because resistance comes up. And even though often we can push through it, there is a price for that. Like it really does come at a cost. Eventually, as we push past our resistance, which I'm going to talk about more now, what resistance actually is and how it's not just having a fear of something. Oh my God. Not the best time to do it, is it? So as I was just saying, as children, we reject ourselves, we abandon ourselves because our parents didn't give us the approval that we thought that we needed. Now, again, nobody's perfect, so this isn't putting blame on the parents. This is just how life is designed, how humans are designed. Okay, so when we reject ourselves as a child, let's say that we did something that our parents didn't like, they withdrew their love, they got disappointed or angry or ignored you or yelled at you, you then thought that you're not good enough. And it could have come from other people too, like your school teachers, the kids at school. And when you deem yourself unworthy, because we weren't taught the correct process, we just rejected those parts of ourselves. We just abandoned them. And what that means, what this really means, is that if there's something you don't like about yourself, you call it unworthy. You cringe away from it. There's a physiological aspect to this. The way that holds people back is that everyone's running around after mindset stuff, which is great. I include mindset in what I do, but is not the be all and end all, because your thoughts actually live all through your body, not just in your brain. And the feelings that you come up, they are because of the thoughts you have, the attitudes you have, the belief structures you have. And they're actually an opinion, a decision, a way of seeing life that's wrapped in a memory. And so everything that you do really is colored by this memory and this experience that you had from earlier childhood. And especially when you felt unloved, not good enough, not worthy, you pushed it back and you cringe away from it. You hope that by ignoring it, that it will go away. And these can be like really, like caring parts that just want to be cared for. They can be nasty parts that hate people who don't like you. They can be parts of you that feel shame and guilt and blame and unforgiveness. And we don't like the way they feel, so we recoil from them. But what this does is it destroys your relationship with yourself. Or let's say it doesn't destroy it forever. It will disconnect you from the life force, because your attention, your mind, your imagination is where God speaks and works through you. So Neville Goddard would teach how I don't know if these were exact words, but your imagination is the engine of God's mind. So our imagination creates, and our imagination is really just everything that we think as well. When we feel a part of ourselves that we don't like, we recoil away from it because we imagine that it's not good enough. And God always says yes, right? So even though God has true love for us, the divine infinite spirit, however you think of the higher power, totally fine. But this loving divine, this one mind, this that we call God or infinite spirit, it always says yes. And we've spent so much time trying to do everything on our own power, having to push through, which often has been to your benefit. But as I said, there is a cost coming. When you cringe away, repress, suppress, look away from those parts of you that are just in distress and that feel like you have to be so much better than you are to truly be successful and truly be worthy and enough and happy, well, that's why things go wrong. And that is also where chronic pain comes from. So if you've seen Dr. Bruce Lipton talk, if you've read any of John Sarno, oh my God, excuse me, it is what it is. So if you've read any Dr. Bruce Lipton, hate that. If you, I'm going to reset. Okay. So if you've heard any Dr. Bruce Lipton or John Sarno, then you'll know that our chronic pain is emotional. And more so, even it was admitted in the American Medical Association, who are like the medical mafia, they even admitted back in 1992 that emotions correspond with chronic illness. But yet nobody wants to work off that. Nobody believes it. Nobody is able to see it. But when I take my clients in to their inner world, which is where your whole entire world is the projector of what happens outside of you. So for as long as you're running around outside of you, trying to find the answer by tweaking funnels or just by doing 10 steps for how to sign clients or attract a relationship or get your hot body. Yes, they have their place. Absolutely. I'm not saying never do that. But people are doing it in place of restoring relationship with their inner self. They're doing it in place of going within and facing the pain and the attitudes and beliefs that are causing the unwanted thing they see in their reality. And then they're blaming the outer world, saying, well, it's making me feel this way. It's not. You see, the part that everybody misunderstands is that your fear, your guilt, your shame, your heavy resistant stuff is not a feeling. Just a feeling. It's not. You feel it, but what it is, it's you. It's you who's having thoughts and experiences and attitudes about the world saying, well, they treated me like this, so that means people are mean. Okay, that creates a feeling. And just like, imagine a radio, like those old radios that you have, and you can tune them with a dial. Imagine this radio here, right? And there's a radio station going through it, and it's just playing, nobody likes me, everybody's mean. That means, nobody likes me, they've been mean to me, so everybody's mean in the world. Okay? And then you try to release the sound, not by changing the channel, but just by releasing the sound. It's like, well, I don't like this sound, so I'm going to release the sound because it's a sound. Like, that's what you're saying with your fear, your guilt, your shame, your pain. I just want to release it. I want to release it. There's nothing to release. It's the radio station. You have to use that dial to change the station, and then the sound will change. So what's your station? Your inner station are your thoughts, your beliefs, your attitudes, and these cause your feelings. Your feelings are a feedback effect from the thoughts you think. They are literally the GPS, your emotional guidance system, and we work exactly like the GPS that you use on your phone and in your car. And now learning this is nourishing to your soul. This is the spiritual nourishment that we all need to be absorbing consistently over and over again to remind you how your body works, how the universe works, how your psychology works. Hi, Keloise. Welcome, welcome. So good to see you here. So, as I said, your inner parts are your sub-personalities. They are literally you. So these feelings that you have are not something to release. They're something to transmute. And you simply transmute them by changing the station of what you believe and think. Okay? So we often think that this fear and this guilt that we feel is just this energy. Oh, it's just this energy I have to release and I have to let go of anxiety. Your anxiety is a response to your attitude about life. In fact, your anxiety is you imagining a negative future. It's you imagining a negative future. And that means that on the radio, you've tuned the channel to negative future, and all the thoughts underneath that play during the program. And it's causing the sound, the static of anxiety. And you think, I have to fix this anxiety, take a pill. Well, sure, that will work for a little while, but those thoughts are still there. And as soon as that pill works off, well, first you're going to go down even worse a little bit. And I'm not saying never take, anything for your anxiety, but at the same time, there will be a price for it in the end. And it's okay to pay that price, but it's about knowing that it's there. It's about knowing that your mind is that radio, and that the station you choose depends on the thoughts you think, which is really the attitude you have about life and the assumptions you have. And this causes your feelings, which are the GPS that let you know which direction you go in. Yeah, so let's all take a breath on that. Hand on heart, just close your eyes, take a nice breath. Relax our shoulders. So when you treat this fear as just something to release, it fractures unity within yourself. You disconnect from these parts of yourself, and they literally get quashed down into your subconscious mind, into your unconscious, where you don't want to see them. And just like a submarine is under the surface of the water and so you can't see it, the subconscious thoughts are under the surface as well, and same as the unconscious. But the unconscious, they can be conscious. They're like there. They're right there. You're thinking them, feeling them every day. You're just not noticing them. You're not seeing them because we have nuanced thoughts. It's very nuanced the way that we think. We have lots of conflicting emotions that we don't know that we're feeling. And this is why when you get something in your mind and you just push through for it, which is a good quality, it, as I keep saying at the same time, it does eventually have a price. When you're trying to do it all yourself instead of giving it to God, the divine, infinite spirit, when you're not calling in this great power of wise love, this one mind that we all share that many of us call God, and you're trying to do it all on your own, no wonder you're exhausted. You're like a drop in the ocean trying to create a wave instead of calling upon the entire ocean to create the wave. So when we merge with God consciousness, when we open up and invite God's light in, when we command the field. And we understand that it's not just us commanding the field, that we have a higher and a greater part of us that's connected to all of us. Well, that's where the power comes into our body. That's where synchronicities open up. That's where, for lack of a better word, the magic happens. Yeah? And you know how a child, if you ignore a child, will just get louder and louder and louder? It's the same as when we ignore the inner parts of us. The part of you that is in resistance that you push through. The part of you that feels unworthy, but you try to just speak affirmations over the top of it. The part of you that feels insecure and worried about what people will think. What's happening is we're ignoring these parts. It's what we were taught to do as a child because nobody knew about going into right relationship with yourself. In fact, they told you it was crazy to talk to yourself. Okay, well, what about listening to yourself? It's not crazy to talk to yourself. In fact, intelligent people speak to themselves and listen to themselves. It's not just about barking affirmations at yourself, which I use affirmations for sure. But it's about not just being an affirmation robot. You have to know how to actually go into the shadow, which isn't just, as I said, it's not just something to release. It's literally you. And just like a child that's being ignored, who gets louder and angrier and crankier and more tantrumy, so does these inner parts of yourself until they turn into chronic illness, until they turn into full-blown panic attacks or just burnout and overwhelm, and then you keep pushing through and you're wondering, gosh, I've created this stuff, but yet I can't enjoy it because I'm so damn exhausted. It's because you're not in right relationship with yourself or with God, the divine infinite spirit. Yeah? So what this means is that these feelings that we have inside of us, as I said, they are just the frequency from the thoughts that we're thinking. We need to go in and embrace them. Truly, like with our mind, is an actual energy. So there's a Bible saying that says, when the I is one. Does anybody know the scripture? When the I is one, it's something about making the I one, two eyes one. And I have to learn the scripture because I think this is what my work does. Is from 16 years and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of experience guiding others and thousands of hours of experience going through this myself. Like I really have great mastery in this. Like I still have more to learn. We always have more to learn. But compared to generally most people, I'm incredibly gifted at this. Like I know exactly what needs to happen to heal the human soul. And what I've seen, what was I saying? Yeah, so it just gets louder and louder and louder until you look at it. And so, wait there, can someone remind me what I was saying? Okay, just relax, open up. If it's meant to pop in, it will. Oh, I was on such a little download there. Okay, so basically, what's really important to understand is that these parts of you, they don't just go away. They're not just something you release. Oh yeah, that's right. You have to know how to go in and embrace these parts of yourself. Literally with your mind. That's right, two eyes become one. Okay, when two eyes become one. And so it's like we have multiple parts of our mind. We have these deep inner parts of ourselves that are our unconscious and subconscious parts, and they have personalities. They literally want to talk to you, and they do talk to you. Your pain, if any of you have chronic pain or even aches or even the anxiety, the overwhelm, the resistance, these feelings, it all has a voice. It has a message. It has a very real personality, and it's trying to talk to you, but nobody seems to know this. Yet that's why my work opens up space for opportunities to arrive in my clients' lives, like really as a regular function, because we've gone into right relationship with those parts within us, and we're taking life force and embracing those parts of ourselves that we've rejected. We've rejected these parts of ourselves. And until you take your mind energy down to wherever you feel it, wherever you feel the resistance, the I'm unworthy, the I'm insecure, the I'm not good enough, the, oh, I hate this part of me, and, or like, I hate them. Until you take your upper mind, which you can feel on many layers, which I can explain, you can take it in and embrace it. Imagine light, which is always going to be the divine light, just naturally, because that's what it is. When you imagine the light, you call on the light, you embrace this feeling, you actually feel yourself relaxing towards it instead of cringing away from it. It's a very important thing that we all need to be doing. Yeah? But yet, almost nobody knows that it exists. Almost nobody knows that it's even important. But it is. It is, in my experience, like, this is soul retrieval. This is soul alignment. This is also what people are calling heart coherence. When your thoughts and your actions are in alignment with how you feel inside, you're in coherence. Coherence. And this is where you are, like, lucky. This is where things do work out for you. This is where you are in flow when you work. And even when things go wrong, you can just handle it easier than ever before because you're not resisting yourself. You're actually listening to and you're talking to yourself. So this is why fear and guilt and shame don't need to be fixed. They need to be related to, literally talked to, spoken to, embraced and brought up and even reparented. Because as I said, and I'll say again, they have opinions. They're an actual personality within you. And what needs to happen, and this is truly what I've seen the fix for everything. People have come to me with sometimes extreme agoraphobia, and I've healed it when nothing else worked. They've come to me with extreme OCD, with eating disorders. They've come to me with trauma loops and sexuality issues, or just fear in their business that if they stop and rest for a moment, then everything will fall apart. And every single time, it's always about restoring that right relationship, going in and speaking to those parts of them that feel out of control, that feel guilty, that feel ashamed, that are worried. And they always feel this way because of an underlying attitude. And this is why they say that healing, it really is only about seeing things differently. But you have to know how to talk to and listen to those inner parts of yourself to be able to see it differently. Yeah? So just imagine, what would it be like if you truly went within and found those painful places? Now, here's the key, though. You have to let yourself be able to feel them as they hurt without trying to fix them. And everyone thinks that healing is fixing, but it's not. It's restoring. It's remembering. It's relating. It's loving as you hurt. And so imagine if you actually knew how to relate to yourself, to the parts of you that you just feel a shame or a nausea or a heart drop or a lump in your throat or just a tenseness, and yet you're working on the keyboard, I gotta get this done. And yet creating from that energy is like planting a seed of nightshade, the poisonous plant nightshade, and expecting a rose to grow. So yes, it's really great. For those of you that are able to work through the resistance, I commend you. Like, that is fantastic. But as I said and I'll say again, it comes at a price. And at some point, your body will speak to you. Your overwhelm will get to you. Your relationships will show you that you are abandoning yourself and not able to be present because you've gotten so good at pushing through, because you've gotten so good at overriding your resistance. Well, that is great. There is a time and a place for that. But if you're not also going into your inner self and truly finding what you're really thinking and feeling and relating to it and helping it feel safe and listening to it and actually creating a right relationship with yourself and with God, then you're going to be running on empty, like a car with an empty gas tank. Yeah? Okay, so I'm now going to guide you through a little experience. This isn't the full thing, and this isn't a one and done thing. This is just a taste of how it feels to drop deeper into your body so that you relate to yourself on a deeper way. Okay, so take a breath and put your hands on your heart. Close your eyes, relax your forehead and face, and let whatever's there be present. This isn't about fixing yourself. Today isn't even about really changing anything, although some of you might experience a change. This is just about contacting your inner self, the part that's largely ignored. Even for those of us that do this work a lot, we still continue to find parts of ourselves that we're ignoring. We still need to come back into relationship, because it's just like if you had a partner and you just spoke to them once and you said, okay, no, it's going to be okay, la 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 la, give them a hug, and then you never spoke to them again. Well, that's gonna piss them off, isn't it? It's not going to actually be the relationship you want. So this isn't just a one and done thing. This is a continuous and evolving relationship that you have with your inner self, and of course with the divine force that many of us call God. So just shut down distractions, and I ask that you do not leave this until we finish it, because it could just stir stuff up. Now, we're not going to go too deep. We're just creating contact. So with your hand on your heart or somewhere on your body that feels good for you, pause your thoughts for a moment and just take a big sigh, like a big sigh of relief. Oh, make a sound. And again, relax those eyebrows, pause those thoughts gently. And sigh it out, feeling the tension relax from parts of your shoulders. And again, any thoughts that have come up, that's okay. Gently pause them. Listen to the beauty of silence in between thoughts, and take the longest exhale of the day. All the way out, using your lung muscles. So I invite you to recall an insecurity. And if you've just come on, just put your hand on your heart. We're just jumping into a little self-contact exercise. This isn't a full healing. This is just to establish the relationship with yourself. So recall an insecurity. Think of something that you feel insecure about. Could it be speaking up for yourself to someone? Could it be showing yourself online for some reason? Could it be somewhere around being accepted for something you perceive as a flaw? So have you got your thing? So just think on it a little bit. And don't worry, we're not creating it. It's already being created in the background. This is actually the initial process to ignite a new beginning. So breathe down into where you feel the insecurities. And it might even be everywhere at first, so just breathe into that. And for some of you, it might feel a bit numb. Just give the numbness permission to be there and thank it for protecting you. And just let it know that it's doing a good job because you weren't ready to feel it. And if it needs to stay, it can. So that's what we do with numbness. So obviously in a client session, would fully lay that out and fully do that alchemically, emotionally. But for now, just think of the insecurity. And you might like to say some words, and we're going to say the words so that as you say them, you feel where you feel the words in your body. Where you feel the words in your body will show you where you feel the feeling. Okay, so you might say it's embarrassing, it's so embarrassing, or it's so bad, or they're gonna think. So get your sentence, it's so embarrassing, it's so bad, oh, they're gonna think, or I suck because, whatever your negative sentence about it is, this insecurity. Okay, so breathe in, and so say the negative thing out loud if you can. Feel where it is in your body and let it amplify, let it come up, give it permission to exist, don't fight it. Relax your body around it. Let the feeling expand. Oh my God, it might be uncomfortable. That's okay. You are designed to feel this. Breathe into the feeling and give it space. Relax, clenching on the edges. Big sigh. Relax those shoulders. Pause thoughts. Notice where you feel it in your body. Say, I feel it in my... Where? I feel this feeling in my... Where? And it feels like... What? Does it feel like a humming, a stabbing, a heavy weight? Does it feel like a cloud? Does it feel like goo? Does it feel like a metal barrier? Does it feel like... It feels like... Say out loud, what? And now just, rather than instantly trying to change it, nobody likes that. You don't like that. We don't like that. Just let it be. It's been here for decades, babe. So don't try to instantly judge it and change it. It just is. Give it permission to exist, and then it will feel safe to be seen. And this is key. This is paramount. This is where the magic lives, is in giving it existence to just be, not trying to fix it. But what we do now is, in a moment, we're going to send it compassion, not to fix it, just to send it compassion. Okay, and the trick is that then later on that will so-called fix it. But if you try to fix it, it will push back and it will not change. Okay, so what is the feeling? So say out loud, and maybe afterwards you can tell me in the comments and we can see what happened for you. And just notice, what color is this feeling? Just make it up. The first color that comes to mind. It could be multiple colors. The color might even change. In fact, in the actual healing, the color will generally change from a black darkish color or to a light bright color. But right now, just let the color be what it is. Say the color is... And again, breathe down and around the feeling like your breath is a beautiful river stream. Just let it river, what's that word? Flow, stream and flow around wherever you seem to feel the feeling. Notice where the color is, and we're just getting it up. You're going to notice this is like a foreign object in your body. It's literally an object. It's literally a shape. You're not making this up. Some people call them frequency fences. I call them quantum knots or subpersonalities. They are literally a part of you. That's a thought form. So if you know anything about New Thought, if you know anything about the science of getting rich by Wallace Wattles, you'll know thought forms are very real things. Also hermetics, things like that. So thought forms create actual energetic structures in the spiritual world, which in their own way, in the spiritual world, are physical. And that's why they also turn into things like chronic illness, but they also turn into our desires and our dreams, and they project them out into reality. So with what you're feeling now is something heavy and cold and hard or stabbing or like sticky and easy and icky. This is literally the substance of reality that you are projecting out through your mind into the world, and it's being shown back to you in some way, shape, or form. And so do you see why creating a relationship with these parts of you, so you change their mind, so they change their frequency and substance and opinions, which then project a new reality out into the world, and it's just math. It works every single time. Always, always, always. Reality will always change when you learn how to connect with and eventually change these parts of you. Can you see why it's so important to create relationship with these parts of you? Okay. So, have you still got your part? Are you still there? Now, your job is to use your courage. Be brave. Let yourself feel this feeling. Take your mind into the feeling as much as you can, very slowly, and try to wear it like a jacket. Okay? Just try to wear it like a jacket. Like, go right into it and feel it. Like, how is it moving? And for many of you, it won't be moving. It'll be just like a blob or a stuck object. That's okay. It is moving though. It might be humming in a way. It might be pulsing. It might be buzzing. It might be trying to drop down and pull you down. Go into whichever way is imperceptible and subtly. Pause thoughts, pause thoughts. This isn't a thinking thing. Pause your thoughts and breathe. Go into the feeling, notice its color. This isn't about the color changing. This is about continuing the connection. Sigh. If you do an open mouth sigh, that's going to relax your vagus nerve. And it's going to go down into the feeling. Take your mind around it. And now, as you pulsing with it or buzzing with it or vibrating with it or whatever it wants to do, just getting that imperceptible and let your body rock with it. Let it hurt. Your job isn't to fix it. Now we're going to call in compassion. I like to call in compassion from God, the divine, to flow in through your body, in through your heart. So imagine a beautiful bright light from above the sky coming into you, in through the top of your head. And let's invite this beautiful crystalline loving light into your system. Just say yes to receive. This is a real energy. This is God's light, Christ's light, divine light, the light of living love. This is of living intelligence. So as you invite it into your body, just imagine that it starts swirling. Swirling around the feeling. Remember not to change it. Don't need this. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose is to connect with it. This like just let go of any hope of it changing, which means release the clenching in your body. Release the clenching in your body. Yeah? Big sigh. And imagine this beautiful light swirling underneath the feeling, swirling around it. And now I invite you to relax your heart towards this feeling. Relax that beautiful heart of yours. Soften your shoulders, soften your jaw, soften your face. Relax anything that you can except for the feeling. Let that feeling be what it is. And now you're going to imagine a beautiful stream of light flowing into and around the feeling. Do not try to change it. Do not push it. Do not hope it changes. Your job is to show up with presence, that this is a part of you that's been here for decades that you've been ignoring and been rejecting. Okay, so let's just embrace this part of you. It might feel a bit funny. Sometimes that can be a bit hard. But you just take that mind energy down to the feeling and imagine that you're hugging it. Imagine that you're relaxing into it. Big sigh. Pause thoughts to everything else. Just one more time. Breathe that light down into the feeling. And let your mind, your heart mind, let your heart relax towards the feeling. Yeah? Okay, so now you're going to give it a little face. On this feeling, exactly as it feels, let it amplify. Don't need it to change. Just feel it. It may even want to clench more. You may want to go, your body even might contract and go, or like, if I can do this on camera, you can do this in the privacy of your own home, right? So just let it do what it needs to do. It might like be more of a shaking or a, but whatever the feeling wants to do, what sound would this feeling make? So let's say, so sometimes if it's a fear feeling, it would be like that. Or sometimes if it's a shame feeling, it'd be like, But it's up to you. You don't think of it. This isn't thinking. Go into the feeling and let the feeling make a sound. Whatever it is. Go on. Do it again. Louder. Louder. And now give it a face. If that exact feeling, if that feeling had a face, if it was a little being that had a little expression and a little face, what would its mood and expression be? Don't think. Just look, feel the feeling. And imagine you can see a little face, whether you see it or just an idea of it. Just know it. You can pretend that you see it. It's fine. So what, to yourself, what does its mood and expression seem to be? And if you're not sure, just make it up a little bit. Make it up. You can't get this wrong, except to say you're doing it wrong. Just let yourself make it up. Okay, so now you can see it. Now, it's easier one-to-one because I would then have you say, so you tell me the feeling and it'll be, oh, look, it's got an angry face. And you'd say, you're angry, aren't you? And then you have to fully listen. You don't say, you're angry, aren't you? Okay, so if it was feeling, oh, look, he's feeling really lost and alone. You're feeling really lost and alone, aren't you? And then you really feel it and you listen. And you'll hear a little voice go, yeah. And then you've got its voice. So let's try that. So feel it, feel it, feel it. But the key is be prepared to, when you ask the question, feel it and just listen. Like, open and listen. And if nothing comes within 7 to 10 seconds, it just means you're not connected with it enough and you just need to try again. It certainly 100% for sure has a voice, but don't force it. It's not like you're not being examined on this. You're not being tested on this. You're not going to get in trouble if you get it wrong. Just, if it doesn't come, you just reset. Okay, so feel the feeling. What color is it? Say the color is. And it feels like, explain it. Could be like heavy, hard, buzzing. It could be icky, sticky, hot, cold, like a heavy weight, like a cloud. Okay, now look at his little face. Breathe into it. And say, you're, aren't you? What's its feeling? You're that feeling, aren't you? And listen. What did it say? What does pop up? Say, I'm sorry you feel this way. I'm sorry I've been rejecting you for such a long time. And look at it. Look at his little face. Look at how it feels. I didn't even know you were here like this. But I'm here now. And if I'm honest, I understand why you're feeling this way. So relax the clenching. Relax that secret hope that this will change. This isn't about changing it. It doesn't need to be changed. It needs to be understood. It needs to be heard. It needs to be listened to. Only once you listen to it and you hear its point of view and you say, I get why you feel this way. Only then will it be able to listen to you and then gradually change how it feels. But not because you try to change how it feels. That will never work. Okay, but it does work by coming into relationship with it, holding it, embracing it, caring for it, listening to it. And this is, as I said, the part of you that's projecting out that unwanted relationship, the unwanted behavior in your clients, the lack of support is projecting out the reflecting back to you accidents that happen, people that just exhaust you and drain you and constantly nag at you, or whatever is happening. This feeling is, whatever that feeling you're feeling is projecting out and creating essentially the reality where they're going to act in ways that make you feel this way. And it's going to keep being replicated over and over and over and over again until you dissolve it. Okay? So breathe into the feeling. And you don't dissolve it by changing it. You dissolve it by understanding it, and then it naturally changes its mood. Like when you're in a bad mood and someone you love gives you a hug, they don't do it because you have to change how you feel. They do it because they give you a hug. Okay? And they listen to you and they understand you. But there are a lot of mechanisms and locks in our unconscious mind, our subconscious mind. So you have to know how to keep facing every single barrier, but you just keep meeting it with love. Okay. So wrap this part of you in a golden blanket. Let it know that you'll be back. But before we go, let's just ask it one little question. Just ask it, what do you need me to know right now? And then listen. And what pops up? What popped up? So if you start thinking, well, then you're not able to hear it, because that's not you and your thoughts. That's a different part of you down in your body, a very real part of you. Yeah. And so now you can imagine up things to give it and things like that. But ultimately, the first step here, which I'm guiding you through, because I'm not going to guide you through the whole process, but this is about creating contact. The number one thing right now is for this part of you that's projecting out all of those things, those unwanted realities, you have to love it. You have to be with it, have presence with it, sit with it, say to it, I'm here with you. So as you feel this part of you inside of you, and if you've just come on, you may want to watch a replay, because we just are finishing the whole process right now, and it was really powerful, really important for any person that's wanting to get control of their life, their emotions, and their inner success, which is their outer success. So just breathe into that part one more time. Wrap it in a golden blanket. with your mind, which is embracing it, right? Invite it into your body. Say, I give this part of me permission to stay, and I will protect it. And then this is where you can call upon God, the divine infinite spirit, whichever words you like. I call upon God to flow into my body and protect this part of me. Just breathe into it. If you prefer to use words like the universe, infinite spirit, divine mind, spirit, it's all okay, okay? We're all ultimately approaching the one mind, the one great truth of reality from different angles. Big sigh. And now the next stage would go into is forgiving it, is talking to it deeper, finding out what created it, all of that sort of stuff. So that's what I do with my one-to-one. And the thing is, this isn't just to feel good, although it will help you feel good. This is about releasing those energetic blocks caused by your self-rejection and abandonment. So that you feel restored and you're in alignment. But what does that mean? That means that opportunities flow. And rather than you having to go out there and find all the opportunities and chase them, they'll find you. Because you're no longer withdrawing from life, you're merging with life. And I also have my clients, I teach them how to merge with God, with the divine, with the Holy Spirit or the higher self, however you can think of it, right? This one mind higher self. And when you merge this part of you with the greater divine, with the great divine, you open up and you become a literal vortex, a magnet for your desires. And this is what people call soul retrieval. They call it heart coherence and soul alignment. And here's the thing. When you do this on a regular basis, your life will continue to grow in exponential ways that we just can't explain. Like my client Aurora, who came to me with agoraphobia, chronic pain so bad she feared she was dying, and her business was limping along. It was virtually non-existent at that time because she could no longer handle the overwhelm and the override she was going through. Well, when I helped her with this exercise we just did, and hi, welcome if you just came on live, we're almost done, so make sure you go back to the start and do this and watch the exercise we just did, because this is true, like the deepest form of reality creation, where you're not layering things on top, you're connecting with yourself. So I was just saying how, just like my client Aurora, who she had so much fear and anxiety and had been overriding herself for so long that she collapsed. She just could no longer hold the field, and her business was limping along. She couldn't even leave her mother and sisters for longer than a day. Not even one night she'd go into a panic attack. And when I took her through this process, which, as I said, I see more people are coming on live, welcome. Just make sure you go back and please do the exercise that I just did. It is the key. It's chef's kiss to reality creation and coming into alignment with yourself. So what happened was, as I said, my client Aurora, we went and we spoke to these sub-personalities. We brought her into heart coherence, into soul alignments, and we retrieved these fractured parts of herself that were suffering, that felt unworthy, and that had led her into collapse and caused the chronic pain. Within a very short period of time, her chronic pain disappeared because we spoke to the actual pain. And within a very short time, her agoraphobia, like within a matter of months, her agoraphobia, which had her entire life, disappeared. She was able to travel to Italy. She actually got headhunted to go in an indie film with a whole group of people she never would have said yes to before, and nor would they have been able to find her, because they found her through the Instagram account, that because we'd worked on her fears of visibility and her guilt at her story that she didn't finish things, she all of a sudden started finishing things, and her Instagram blew up from 350 little followers to 27,000 within the time we were working together. And now she was pouring her love into her Instagram. We didn't even talk about her Instagram. I didn't even really know anything about her Instagram. But what I did know is she had a terrifying fear of not being enough, of being attacked, of not being worthy. And when we went into these places within her and systematically restored relationship and retrieved her soul essentially and sent life force into the parts of herself that she'd neglected, then her reality just opened up and opportunities found her and her life force came back. And now you would literally not believe it. You would not believe that the first time I saw her, she was like a little shaky, shy girl. And now she's like this brilliant, bright, blonde-haired goddess woman. Like, you just would not believe the difference. What happens when you go within and you restore right relationship. So for those of you that just came on, please do go back and do the exercise. It is all about connecting with your inner self. And while this isn't the full transformation, this is the establishing contact, which has to happen. Okay, so nobody seems to know that this is what we need to do, but it is. So if something has spoke to you and you'd like support restoring your relationship and creating the inner success that projects outward, I'm currently opening a few spots for one-to-one in a short-term capacity. Plus, I also have one spot for the capable woman that wants to reprogram her reality and restore the relationship with herself, with God, with the world, so that you no longer have to push through and override yourself. And this is in my 6-month golden spiral of alignment journey. So you don't have to decide anything now. Just feel free to reach out if you want to see what's in alignment for you, and we can go from there. So thank you so much for everyone who's here. It would mean the world to me if you would share this, not just for me, but because this is the work that needs to get out into the world. So maybe DM it to a friend or share it on your profile or in your stories, maybe with a little reason why you think people should watch it. And again, well, yes, it will greatly benefit me to be seen more, and I would appreciate that so much. It's really to get the work out into the world because almost nobody knows that this is a thing. So beautiful. Thank you for being here. Drink lots of water now, maybe with some minerals, some magnesium, and just know you can always, you can continue the relationship on your own. And if you do want further help, of course, reach out, send me a message, and we can discuss options. So take it easy today. I mean, do whatever you're going to do, but just do it from a place, if you can, of more ease, of more listening to your body. You may even notice that this part of you wants to continue to talk with you. Listen to it, ask it, relax towards it rather than cringe away. So as you know, I'm Kai Clifford, your spiritual guide and energy alchemist, and I'll see you soon.